Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Come on in, everyone. Come on in. I have a special treat for you all today. You know what time it is. So we've been promoting today's broadcast for the past few days, and for those of you who don't know, hold on. Let me get the music turned down some. All right. For those of you who, man, look, you talking, you on air. Hold on, I'm about to bring you out. Okay. We have been promoting the show behind the scenes for a few days now. For those of you who don't know, today we're going to be reacting to, oh my goodness. Where have you gone, EK? I'm about to bring you out. I'll bring forward the, here. So we have this situation that has been brewing. I don't know how many of you had seen this, but this right here is the Fufu Foolishness that I've been talking about. There's a content creator by the name of Ike Slimster, who you see right here on the left-hand side, who is going to be joining us live today. Oh, he's back behind the scenes. Let's see if we can pull him forward. Oh, my. Ike, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Listen, like this thing is okay. So we're going to look at your video that's floating around the screen right now. We're going to take a look at that. Anything you want to say to defend yourself before we jump into it?
It was a joke, and I believe
they haven't heard the joke yet.
It was a joke, and I believe the closing statements in the video was the main point of the video, not the intro. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
So okay, you're gonna leave it at that. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You know what? You know what we'll do? We'll just jump right into the video, and we'll let people see for themselves. We'll let people be the judge for themselves. Is Text Notification Squad in the house? If you are, throw up your 1010s. I need to know if you got your text, because I did not get mine. And I need to know if while this video is playing, I need to get the text out. So I need you all to let me know that right now. All right. Oh, wow. They feeling you. I guess because they ain't heard what you had to say yet. So without further ado.
I promise y'all, I meant well.
You meant well by saying something. Don't worry. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. They don't think you were joking, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it. All right. So you ready to react to this?
Let's go.
All right. So let us.
That fofo.
Hold on. Facebook is playing games. Hold on. So, all right.
So I got that fofo. You already see me. You see me. Let me take a. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, wow. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. All right. Smash it up. Throw it in there. So I could dip in, right? Like that.
All right, what's up, y'all? So I went to this African restaurant, and I'm about to try this stuff. It's called Fufu. It look like this. A little ball. You know, it kind of like Play-Doh a little bit. You know, it's kind of mushy and gooey, and it got like a weird little smell to it. But this is the it's called light soup. I think it's oxtail and something, but I'm gonna go ahead and give them a little try. So I guess all you gotta do is get your hands, you pull it up like this, like so, I guess, and then you just dip it inside the fufu like this.
Inside the fufu.
The fuck? Oh no.
Honestly, this is supposed to be content, but I'm getting carried away because I'm actually hungry.
But here I am, enjoying the fact that my ancestors were able to run fast enough to escape slavery. Too much? Okay, all right. Let's all calm down. Don't act like you're new here. And if you're new here, this is what we do here. To be clear,
You talking over because you talking over the video.
Okay, play it back, Tonya. Play it back.
You said you were celebrating. What did you say? You were celebrating.
I said I was celebrating the fact. I said I was celebrating the fact that my ancestors were fast enough to run away from slavery. But you know what makes it funnier, Tonya? I would never make that joke without context. I had just found out that my great-great-great-grandfather actually did not escape slavery. And this is what I mean. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Historically speaking, I found out that he didn't escape. He actually couldn't get away. And the then king of his region actually had him arrested and put into slavery. So that was mostly what inspired that joke. But technically, yeah, that's where I'm coming from. This was a joke. You know, I just feel like that's just it.
You know, we're gonna jump into that after we finish looking at the rest of the video, but we'll have to speak about some historical context on that. All right.
No, we can speak. Historically speaking, I think we need to unpack that because I think it's interesting.
Let's finish watching the rest of the video, right?
Oh, you want to watch the rest of the video?
Why not? Oh, well, it is kind of
okay. I mean, yeah. Let's watch the rest of the video. It's better. It's better for context.
Okay.
Not even funny. Y'all not about to make me feel bad by saying it's not funny. Y'all think Kevin Hart's not funny. He's hella successful. I don't even buy that shit. Play the video, Tonya, please. I don't. People just. Y'all just be saying anything.
Off on a bad foot. I don't. I wonder how. I'm sorry. I wonder how much it makes for earnest conversation for you to start out by telling people, by dismissing the fact that people don't think that joke was fun or that joke was funny.
For one, I think people think my statement was rooted in animosity the same way the entire trend started. The trend started off with kids in suburban areas and all sorts of regions of America mocking African food and ultimately making it some kind of joke. And sort of felt like a reiteration of African booty scratcher all over again. Now, listen, I'm one of those people. I've told my own African people, I told them, get over it. It's just a joke. African booty scratcher, all of the jokes that you could possibly come up with. I said, all that stuff is just jokes. Let's get over it. Let's move on. So it's strange to me that this whole trend starts. Everyone is silent. Everyone is quiet about it. So people are even getting in on it. At the time when I saw the trend, it was taking a very negative turn and mostly just people mocking and negatively like portraying African food. And a lot of Nigerians and Africans send me this video and saying like, yo, what don't you think you should defend this? Like, what do you think is like, why are they doing this? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, honestly, it's what always happens. It's like somebody is condescending towards a people or a culture and it looks cool and everybody wants to get in on it until somebody says something. It's not a problem until somebody says something. And that's the problem. And I say that in the video. It was not an issue. I don't think that video is 9 million views now. Nobody was viewing that stuff until I said something. So it's like, it's crazy to me. Like, why is it all of a sudden a big issue after I make that joke? And like at the end of the video, I still get to the point and I say, yo, stop saying slave sellers, guys. Like, this is not.
Excuse me?
We are aware.
Stop saying what?
They said slave sellers. That's I keep trying to explain to people that's not an insult. Like Nigerians, like you could say like, oh, y'all sold your own people. Yeah, and Black Americans sell their own people here every day too. It's all a part of the game, baby. It's capitalism. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is the entire trend was going in a negative direction. I made a video countering that and saying that speaking against your own kind, people who look exactly like you, Caucasians, people on the other side, they can't tell the difference. All they see is just a bunch of Black people mocking Africa, which is a green light, which is ultimately a green light in the entire. This was a TikTok trend. For a TikTok trend to be a bunch of suburban kids making fun of African food,
When you
and other
say
black people
suburban,
are
when you say
supporting it.
suburban, hold on. There's a lot to unpack in your statements. When you say suburban
Yeah.
kids, who are you referring to?
The Caucasians, I believe.
So you made a quote unquote what you felt was a joke about ancestors running fast enough to escape slavery
Yeah.
because of a trend, you say, because of
No, no,
suburban
no. I did
kids.
not. Let's not pretend to let's not ignore nuance here. And I feel like that's exactly what happened with the video. Some people watched the video and they were like, "Oh my God, a slavery joke? That's ridiculous. I can't believe he made such a joke. I'm not watching him. He hates us. This is a despicable man." Okay, whatever. At the end of the video, I say clearly, I've said it in many other videos that I've made in the past. You cannot expect us to make any sort of progress if you keep trying to insult people that look just like you. I know too many African Americans who I hold up to a certain standard, who I worship practically, culturally. And it's like, for you to think that like it's just a game for you to like ally yourself with Caucasian people in videos making fun of African food, like that's just supposed to.
Let's rewind a little bit, right? I want to touch base.
Somebody said you don't see Jews making fun of their ancestors the same
Listen,
way.
hold
That's
on.
bullshit.
That's
These
it. It's it.
people
Listen. Hold on. If you could, allow me the opportunity to respond back to, because I allowed you to speak, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if there's somebody that's typing something in the comments, that has to wait. So I want to get back. I don't think that statement was funny. Me personally, sitting here with you, when I heard that statement, it made my stomach drop. Because when you make a statement like that, you insult the people who are behaving in this abhorrent way. The way that anybody who is making fun of other people and their culture, et cetera, you insult them, but you also insult other people who haven't done you anything. You insult me. You insult everybody who is not represented in that cluster. Everybody who passed through the triangular slave trade or the enslavement trade, the trafficking of your people. Your ancestors were trafficked. And when you make a statement like they weren't fast enough or your ancestors were fast enough to escape slavery, no. There was the ultimate betrayal that took place on Nigerian soil. Nigerians sold Nigerians. Who you look at, when you look at me, you look at somebody who's 76% Nigerian DNA. That's what you see when you see me. So Nigerians sold Nigerians. It's not that they were it was that people trusted their countrymen. And they were tricked, trapped, and trafficked to Caucasians. Is that not the truth? Is that not the truth? I was right there at the port.
That is the truth, but ultimately semantics. And I know it's trigger friendly. It's going to be hard for a lot of people to take this in, but I need you to understand, in no way, shape, or form is anybody's hands clean. You cannot tell me there weren't people out here, Black Americans, who were bounty hunters for Black slaves who escaped. You can't tell me there weren't.
Okay,
you can't tell me there weren't. This is what I mean by ignoring nuance.
So then let's do this, right? Point to who? Point to who?
You can't point to who.
Listen. Before you make a joke, who is it that you're making the joke about? So you're saying that there were Black bounty hunters, right?
Yeah.
So who among us were my ancestors bounty hunters? Who were you talking about when you say?
That's
hold
what
on.
I'm saying.
Hold on.
That's my point. That's my point.
No. When you say nobody's hands are clean, who are you talking about? Because the people who went through the trafficking, how many of the people who went through the trafficking show us who these bounty hunters were descendant-wise?
And the Nigerians that sold slaves, show us who they are descendant-wise.
I'm sorry, but they're sitting right there. They're right there
Who
around
are
the
they?
port.
Who?
They're right
So you
there.
just assume that you're
No,
gonna
you
assume that
ask
every
them.
Nigerian.
No,
You're gonna
nobody.
assume.
No. Nobody said every Nigerian. You have to remember, this is the joke that you're making. You're the one who made the joke saying that the people who were trafficked couldn't run fast enough. Run fast enough from other Nigerians? It's not like you're making a joke about Americans. You're making the joke. The insult is to Nigeria. The insult is to you.
I'm aware. Nigerians are aware. And this is what I said. I'm guessing that some people have tough skin and others don't. Nigerians know how to make fun of themselves. Nigerians know how to laugh at themselves. If there's not anything that makes a Nigerian, is the fact that we can take those tough jokes on the shoulder. I was born and raised in there. I saw it. I grew up around it. I know what the corruption is. I know our sins. I know what exactly being Nigerian means. So nobody is going to tell me exactly what Nigerians have done that's going to make me feel bad about it. So if I made a joke about it, yeah, it's terrible. But like, I grew up before even aspiring to be a comedian, I grew up watching the likes of Eddie Murphy, the likes of Jamie Foxx, all these people. And they all made very, very terrible jokes about Africa. If I wanted to be like emotional and get on here and say the same thing that people are saying, I could do that. There's a ton of things that like...
And you know what? And you should. You should. Yeah. You should send a message to every single comedian.
No, I love those jokes. I love.
I want to address something that you said, right?
Yeah.
You claim that Nigerians have tough skin. You claim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You claim.
Yeah.
Can you explain to us, please, why did these people who didn't like Fufu, why did that offend you so? So much so that you would insult millions of other people who didn't make those jokes. Why were you offended by that?
Because, first of all, I wasn't offended. I wasn't offended. This was more so a situation where my people were like, hey, why don't you play a catalyst in this debate? And I was like, fine, let's, since they don't want to listen, to anything that seems like a calm team video, let's throw some napalm in there. And we threw some napalm with that joke, and apparently napalm worked. It's very inflammable, and the video took up to flames. As you can see, that's why we're here and having this conversation. And a lot of the conversation that was had in the comment section, though some were divisive and destructive, a lot of it was very constructive and seemed to make progress. People went and people tried it, and some people loved it. I had conversations with people in my DMs. They were like, love the culture. I was like, love you too. Love your culture. These are all the things that I love about, like, it's not, there was no animosity. The people that wanted to be wild about it, they did that. Some people, they messaged me curses, messaged me everything evil that they want done to me, all the things that they wish that would happen to me in this life, all of it. And there were people that showed love, and I showed love back.
So the question was, why were you so offended that they didn't like Fufu? You say you were not.
I wasn't offended that they didn't like Fufu. I wasn't.
What was it that upset you so much that you decided to insult people who were outside of the people making the videos? If you said, now listen, if you said, this TikTok user right here, this one who has his mouth with the fufu coming out of it, right?
Yeah.
If you said, oh, you sir, you have issues or whatnot. Okay. If you attacked the attackers, right?
Yeah.
That would be one thing. My question, and I wonder, why did the attack have to go out towards millions of people?
I can answer that question. I was just fighting ignorance with ignorance, to be honest. If we're being very honest, it was
right. But so first of all, you're an influencer, right? You're on this platform. You're on my platform because you have a sizable platform. It's like you're looking at people who have struggle channels, who have to create content from spitting food out. And instead of insulting those particular people who created the offense, you then lash your offense out at millions of people who have done you nothing. And you have a huge platform, and with that platform comes responsibility. So I'm curious.
On that platform, in that same video, I said, I was kidding. It's not about the joke. It was never about the joke. It was to get to the message at the end of the. It was never about the joke. That's the point I'm trying to make. It was never. It was never to hurt anybody. And even in the post, in the comment section, I told people like, hey, if you felt, if that, like, I'm sorry if that bothered you. Like, it's not. It's not something that I was looking to.
Can you see why? Can you see why it was offensive?
Oh, I could see why it was offensive. I 100% understand why it was offensive. People get offended every day. There are, like I said, the comedians that I looked up to trying to be a comedian made jokes like these. But unfortunately, some people were hurt by it, right? People get hurt. People bring up those terms all the time, all the time, right? You have jokes like in Eddie Murphy Raw where he was talking about bringing his wife from Africa named Fufu, and Fufu is going to be a naked African bone bitch who had nothing on and didn't know nothing about nothing. It was a funny joke. Everybody laughed. We all laughed.
Everybody didn't laugh.
And
you know what? And let me ask you this question. How long have you thought that because 40 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, somebody did something that they thought was funny, that gives carte blanche to today also being offensive and minimizing and separatist in quote unquote humor that is highly offensive to people and actually the antithesis of coming together? How long have you thought that because some people did some things in the past that were wrong then, that it's okay to do it now because some people did it?
Well, if you're talking about fascists and racists and and people who just do things for the sake of hate and then find it funny.
There were homophobic, anti-gay jokes that were popular in the 80s as well. And there were a lot of people who were hurt by these jokes. So how long have you thought that because in a time of ignorance, because people made jokes back then, that it's okay to continue the ignorance in a time where it is highly inappropriate? It was inappropriate then, but it's even more so now because we have an awareness now. So how long have you thought that?
Is there an awareness? Because it's still on Netflix.
There is is there not a disclaimer? Is there not a disclaimer that
I don't think there's a disclaimer on. I don't think there's a disclaimer on Eddie Murphy Raw on Netflix. There isn't.
I believe in the beginning of the special, it says that there are some jokes that will be maybe considered offensive that were made at a time and blah blah blah. I'm not exactly sure, but how long have you thought that because somebody did it back then and it was wrong then, that it's okay to do it now?
I mean, there aren't a lot of jokes that made it from back then into now, really, besides Why Did Chicken Cross the Road? But as for the joke that I grew up hearing many African-American comedians making about Africans in Africa, I just feel like I don't see how this is it would be wild. I can imagine even Africans coming together to be like, African Americans have offended us so many times. Every joke that they've ever made should be canceled. Like, to the point, it happens so much to the point that people like Michael Blackson exist. Do you know why Michael Blackson exists? Do you know why Michael Blackson? Michael Blackson exists because he is a perfect caricature of what America wants Africans to laugh at. Like, this is what, like, when he gets us, I'm a beach nigga, all of that, the dancing on it, all of that. He exists because of that, and he's only a supply and demand type of entertainer. So like, for me, it's like, you can't have that type of rhetoric and then think that somehow there is no, I don't know, ramifications like after a long period in time or after years and years of people watching and getting inspired and taking all of this in. So it's like, my joke, maybe it hurt some feelings 100%, and I'm sorry, I apologize for that, but at the end of the day, I don't think I did the worst thing known to human beings because I made a joke like that. I don't think I did the worst thing known to Africans just because, or worst thing known to like African Americans just because I made a joke like that. I think African Americans have laughed at way worse.
I have to jump in here. There's a bit of deflection, and also when we offer an apology, right? And I'm not saying that I need or want an apology from you. I'm merely having a discussion with you. However, when we offer an apology, if the apology is sincere, to create a but on the end of that clipses everything that you said before that. And then how long have you thought that because you haven't done the worst thing to a person, that it makes whatever it is that you did okay because, oh, well, you've been through worse, nigga.
Well, okay. Let's put it like this, right? Let's put it like this. I'm sorry if that joke offended you and your ancestors. And if you felt that on a spiritual level, I apologize to you also in the spiritual realm, in every realm that exists, on behalf of me and the Africans.
I don't understand why you're making a joke about this. You think it's funny?
I'm not making a joke. I'm really
I
apologizing.
thought we were here to
I
have a
thought everything
sincere
will be fixed.
discussion.
Tonya, I just tried to fix everything. I thought as soon as I apologized, every issue
I told
from
you.
here to the diaspora will be sorted out. I thought we were going to come together, and all of a sudden, the general economic infrastructure of our Black world will be fixed, and it'll be perfect. Everything will just sort itself out.
Can you let me know when I said that I wanted you to apologize?
You didn't say that, but it's implied.
Implied by who?
It's implied by everyone. People in the comment
everyone?
section. Things
You're talking about people in the comments. I'm talking to you. You're on my platform. The people in the comments.
I'm on your platform because...
So hold on. Do you want me to just shut up and then you just let the comments roll so you could respond to the comments? Would that be better?
No, that would be sexist, and I am not sexist.
See, listen, I need you to put the comedian card down a little bit because
reality is comedy, Tonya, and I promise you I am not being a comedian right now.
No, reality is not comedy. Reality is reality, and comedy exists as a parody and satirical to reality. But nonetheless,
that's exactly what feeds parody and satire. Reality.
Right. Well, listen. If you feel wholeheartedly, right? If you stand by what it is that you said, and that's how you feel, because you're talking about your ancestors, right? You it's like when you preface it, it's like you're prefacing it as if there's some sort of difference between your ancestors and my ancestors or anybody's ancestors out there. I'm only 76% genetically Nigerian. There's some people who are even more than that. So whose ancestors are we referring to? When we talk about Black people who were bounty hunters, where did these Black people come from? Did they come from Nigeria? Were there Nigerians who were bounty hunting on this land? So it's like, who are we talking about? Because is there a difference between your ancestors and my ancestors?
There is no difference. I don't think there's a difference because you could be anyone in Nigeria. You could, if you were dropped off in Nigeria right now, nobody would be able to tell the difference unless you spoke. So, I mean,
when I was in Nigeria, I had a phone. I was broadcasting, and the guy in the yellow, I forget what it's called, the yellow thing. Yeah. What is it called? The little yellow car.
The kicking up it.
Yes. I was broadcasting live, and he was talking to me, and I was like, "Excuse me, what's that?" And people on the broadcast was like, "Oh, he's talking to you in Igbo."
And that's the point. Your name could be easily Tonya Tko. Easily.
You see, you're making jokes now.
No, but I'm saying your name can be Tonya Tko. I'm not like, I'm serious. You do look the part. Okay, Tonya, it seems like they still want you to keep fighting because the comments like they don't want you to make, you shouldn't be laughing, Tonya. That's the point.
You making jokes like...
I'm not making jokes. They said, see his energy, keep the fake apology. Oh, guys, this is why I keep my day job.
Nonetheless, we only have a few moments left on this particular broadcast before we have to stop it and come back in, right?
Yeah.
All right. When I commented inside your comment section, we talked about colonialism. Because it's like when you say that that Nigerians cannot be offended by what Nigerians have done, there seems to be this cognitive dissonance. There seems to be this separation between the ancestors that got trafficked and the ancestors who were back home who had Europeans on their soil ruling over them. I watched a documentary on Nigeria and how Nigeria even got its name, and how white people thousands of miles away were just divvying up parts of Nigeria, and how the North and the South were not even meant to be together. And this is why there's all of this conflict now. I learned about the marketplace massacre, where all of these women were murdered, Black women, Nigerian women murdered on Nigerian soil, while Europeans took the money, while Englishmen took the money from Nigeria and sent it to England. And this is why England's roads are paved in concrete and Nigeria's are still rocky. I saw these documentaries, how Nigeria got the name for nigger area.
Yes.
And Nigerians still carried the name nigger area. And it's like, also, so when we talk about
it was a general who gave us as a gift to his side chick. That was how it actually happened. I'm not even kidding. He called us, he divvied us up.
Right.
Lord Lugar.
So listen, so you are a man who is obviously aware and knowledgeable, right?
Yes.
And so when you see the descendants of those who were trafficked making fun of Fufu, how can we have anything but pity for them? How?
Well, I can't have pity because mostly it's like, I said this before as an example. I said, no one is trying wonton and spitting it out because you just don't do that. That's just not it's not respectful. Nobody's, you know what I mean? Nobody's trying oxtail and spitting it out because you don't.
I see what you're saying.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
it's just you're not going. I'm not going to make a video on that because I know there's a community behind this.
Listen,
this is not...
when I was young, right? When I was a little girl, in my neighborhood, they called us Jamaican booty scratchers. That's what they called us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think the term African booty scratcher is funny. I don't think it's funny. And I think that
it's not a little bit, not even a little funny.
I don't. Why would what? That's not funny. It's not funny.
It
wasn't funny when I was a little girl. It's not funny now. But my point is, right? Yeah. That through ignorance, the mocking of Africa has been done for sport. During the Biafra War, when they had the children with the flies around their eyes and all of that, and they showed the big-bellied kids and all of that, I feel that the imagery was a concerted effort to belittle exactly how the Biafra War began, how the people were dying, how Nigeria got to be the way that it did. I don't know how many people knew that. I didn't even know until last year that the images that we saw of the big-bellied kids, that was from the Biafra War. Dead people laid out in the streets. When I saw these images, I cried. But yeah,
and that's a perfect example of, see what I mean? I've done content around that. Those videos do not reach the diaspora. Nobody cares about that. Nobody even does live interviews with me about those videos. But I say ancestors and fufu jokes. And
let me show this. Let me show this right here. Daddy, and I was told that this has been saving lives since
2000 BC.
Since 2000 BC. Okay.
You know what this is?
You just pour water in it. This is the way it looks right here in the bag. So it's just flakes.
Yeah.
And then you pour water in it. She says it swells. So you know what Gotti is. So it kind of just looks like grits right now.
Yeah,
what is the fruit that is? Okay. We'll come back. Me personally, I made this video when I was in Nigeria in 2019. And I tried Gotti. It had peanuts in it and everything, right? And I tried it, and it was, oh gosh, I was much larger then.
And what else do you do with Gotti? So this is one.
So I tasted it for the first time.
The first taste was kind of sour. Like it had. Let's go. All right. Gotti.
This is my first time trying it.
All right.
It was interesting.
It already has flavor in it. Like the first taste was kind of sour, like it had lemon in it. There's no lemon in it, it's just natural. Let's see. It's interesting.
It has a sour tang. That's probably what you're calling lemon. Yeah.
It's more interesting if you add sugar and you add milk or whatever it is that you want to add into it.
Sugar and
milk.
Cook it.
No.
Just
Yes, sugar and milk.
all
is one of
right.
the
So you know what? So I made this video. This video didn't get millions of views. It didn't go viral.
That's
But the
what
thing
I'm
is,
saying.
but
At the
no,
end
but
of the day,
hold, let me just finish this thought.
Okay.
I feel like you fed into the same thing that you're trying to buck against. There were plenty of people who made videos loving Fufu, but the ones that you highlighted were the ones of the people who were acting in a manner that you claim that you don't want to promote, but you promoted it.
Oh, I promise you, Tonya, check the dates. The positive reactions came maybe like 2-3 weeks after the negative reactions. Check the dates. I want to check. Positive. It wasn't positive at first. I remember very clearly.
No, listen, there were many people who made positive videos. However, those videos didn't get the views. They didn't get the views. My video that I made trying Gotti, it didn't get the views because it wasn't controversial enough. Listen, I'm gonna have to bring you back in. We're gonna have to, I don't know if we,
would you say I
end
was
in, huh?
Would you say I was a necessary evil? I don't know.
No, you were an agent for European supremacy. Because you're only continuing the back and forth. You're an agent, unwittingly.
An agent?
Yeah. An unwitting agent. I'm sorry. Because you do their work for them, just like all the African booty scratcher people. They do the work for the people who want us to be separated.
Are you bringing Eddie?
Wow. It ended. All right. I'm going to have to get a new link to him for him to be able to come back into the broadcast. So bear with me for just a moment. Let me play a quick commercial break, and then I'm going to get him back on the broadcast. Okay, give me just one moment, you all. How are you enjoying the conversation so far? There's somebody who's calling me trash. You're an agent as well. Because I'm not trash. I'm a human being. I came out of my mother's vagina. My mother was not trash. A human being doesn't give birth to trash. So calm yourself. Remember, all the darkness in the world can't drive out darkness. Only light can do that. So if you want to be an agent for separation, continue. But it doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve us. Are you tired of missing Tonya TKO's live videos? Arriving late when the video is well underway or about to end? Are you fatigued of only seeing a live video randomly while perusing YouTube and Facebook? Or worse, randomly unsubscribed? Well, now you can get a text notification whenever I go live. No longer are we dependent on the algorithm of these fickle platforms. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada or $4.99 a month international, you get a personalized text message 15 minutes before each live show. Now, you can show up early with the Text Squad, meet other people from all over the world, and get invited to secret broadcasts off-platform. Most importantly, support your favorite independent creator. Go to TonyaTKO.com and click on text. Join the TKO Text Squad today for just $1.99 a month US and Canada, or $22 a year if you pay in advance, $4.99 a month international, $50 a year if you pay in advance. You'll never again be tardy to the party. I'll see you on the next broadcast. TonyaTKO.com/text. We are back. Thank you all so much for bearing with me. I'm just working on getting EK back into the broadcast, so just bear with me for just one moment. Tell EK to hold on. I'm getting him the link right now so that he can come back in. So just tell him to just bear with me for just another moment. I'm getting the link right now. I hope everybody is enjoying. Let me just get this here up for you all so that you can see the comments as we do this. For those of you who have not joined the Text Notification Squad, the Text Notification Squad is a service where you get to get text message notifications before I go live. I need to know if anybody got their text notification today because I sent it out, but I don't know If anybody was, I don't know because I didn't get mine. So I need to, all right, there we go. All right. So he just got the he just got the text just now. So he's going to be on his way back in. Somebody said they need a break from him. All right. So the apples are coming in. I appreciate that. I'm going to read the apples on the all right, on air in just a moment. I'm waiting for him to come in. I just sent him the link. And so for those of you who don't know, right now we're speaking with Ike Slimster. And he made a video responding and reacting to people who were spitting out fufu and they didn't really like the way that it tasted. And he was saying that you don't see other people spitting out the food from other cultures, right? Give me just 1 second. My mouse is going crazy. I got to do this with my hands. And so I'm just waiting for him to get back into the Zoom. Oh, you know what? I have to start the Zoom. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Give me one moment, you all. Give me one moment. I'm sorry. Oh, brother. All right. I just need a second. I'm going to play the commercial again for you all, and then we're going to come right back after the commercial. I'm sorry.
Are you tired of missing Tonya Tko's live videos? Arriving late when the video is well underway or about to end? Are you fatigued of only seeing a live video randomly while perusing YouTube and Facebook? Or worse, being randomly unsubscribed? Well, now you can get a text notification whenever I go live. No longer are we dependent on the algorithm of these fickle platforms. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada or $4.99 a month international, you get a personalized text message 15 minutes before each live show. Now you can show up early with the Tech Squad, meet other people from all over the world, and get invited to secret broadcasts off platform. Most importantly, support your favorite independent creator. Go to TonyaTKO.com and click on text. Join the TKO Tech Squad today. For just $1.99 a month US and Canada, or $22 a year if you pay in advance, $4.99 a month international, $50 a year if you pay in advance, you'll never again be tardy to the party. I'll see you on the next broadcast. TonyaTKO.com/text. Are you tired?
All right, welcome back. All right, I'm just getting everything cohesed behind the scenes right now. Here we go. All right, so here, I'll put your comments up so that you all can see what everyone else around you is saying. And we're working on getting Ike back in. Give me just one moment. All right. All right, give me just a second, you all. All right. All right, here it goes. It's starting. Somebody's saying that they saw me disrespecting Black men. No, over slavery. I'm speaking fact. The Black man is a conquered male worldwide. It's as simple as that. It's on the continent and here. The Black man has been conquered by European men. I mean, I don't see how speaking the truth. What do you want me to just be quiet about it? Stop. I mean, we could talk about colonialism. We could talk about trafficking, but the conquering has happened. It has. And so I'm asking, and I don't say this as a joke, and I don't say it because it brings me any type of pleasure. You don't see me. Show me where you see me laughing about it. If anything, you see me very upset about it because I want you to stand the fuck up. Stand up. Get the fuck out of these comments and get your Black ass somewhere and go earn some money, build a legacy and do something. Don't just sit here and fucking complain. Get the fuck up. I don't say this as a joke. And if you feel that it's disrespectful, it's because there's something inside of you that there's some pain about the truth that is troubling you. Get up. Get off your knees, Black man. I'm not making jokes about who could run faster and who couldn't run faster and all of that. I don't do that. I'm speaking some truth. And if that truth hurts, that means that there's something that you need to do about yourself here today in modern society. Not trying to degrade anybody's ancestors or where we all have come from. And the situation that we are in right now is dire. We are dying out here. And the separation doesn't help. What we need to be doing is we need to come together. There's so many opportunities in Africa that these little petty, these squabbles are an antithesis to where it is that we need to get. We could be doing so much. We could be taking the things that we have gained from that blue passport that we have over here, the resources that we have over here, and what we have in the motherland, and bringing that together and really getting on top of this world. Instead, we're on the bottom in every racial playbook. We're on the bottom. Time and time again. Come on. Get up, black man. You're talking about disrespect. Well, what do you want me to do? You want me to rub your shoulder? Oh, it's okay that our babies are being killed out here, that it's more dangerous for a black woman to go into birth, giving birth to your black babies. That it's more dangerous for her to do that than, come on. Let me bring EK back in here. It's like, I don't get it. There's nothing about this that I think is funny. When I went over to Nigeria, I was looking for opportunities. 200 million people in Nigeria. If you sold a bottle of water at $1 to every single person in Nigeria, you'd have $200 million. I'm just saying there's so many opportunities. There's opportunities for building, for international commerce, all of that. But we're so busy looking at people, concentrating on the people who spitting out fufu, looking at the people and thinking about people who called us Jamaican and African booty scratchers in the past. And now we holding it against other people who never said anything about us and all this, that, and the other. It's like, come on. Here we go. Let me bring EK back. Unbelievable. EK, welcome back.
I agree. I agree. There's a passionate delivery. Yeah, heard that. Passionate delivery. Yeah, I mean, how do you follow up with that? Well, yes, we should not be focusing on the past and just the future. But I will say this. I think the politics of Africa is a lot more complicated than most people in the diaspora think. For the most part, it's not as simple as stated, unfortunately. Like, I wish it was that simple. You could just take everything you've learned here and take your blue passport back. But there's so much lobbying and nepotism and so, like, there's so much. And it's not being highlighted, unfortunately. So it's like, we don't see that part of the story. So everybody thinks, everything is so, the corruption is so intertwined that it's not.
Yeah.
It's borderline hopeless. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news or the person to be like, but it's borderline. It's going to require a Ghanaian revolution type of situation. And even Ghana is going left field these days, but it's going to need, and if you know what the Ghanaian revolution, if you, like, the time when their president wiped out the entire, he wiped out everyone who he thought was corrupt.
In Ghana?
Yeah, it was a complete cleansing. It was a military leadership, and he just did what he had. He did what needed to be done. And
I'm sorry, am I pronouncing your name wrong?
What?
Am I pronouncing your name? Is it not EK?
It's Ike. It's EK or Ike, whichever one. It's not. I mean, EK, IK, and Ike. That's what I was called growing up. So.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So you said the Ghanaian president wiped out everybody who opposed. So you're saying that there is no opportunity for Black Americans and Black people in Africa to be able to come together.
I would say no. There's opportunity for us to come together, but I would say, like, I feel like African Americans haven't met the political side of Africa yet. And until they meet that side, then you will really see the true face of Africa. Until you see the political class, you haven't seen Africa for itself. The entertainers, the influencers, the people that tell you come for a festival or come for a concert, that's not the real face. The money behind all of this is the real face of Africa, and that face is not kind. It's not open-minded, and it's not very progressive.
Well, but
And any African on the
So hold on. I just want to say this. I feel that the people in Nigeria could benefit from the rebellious nature of African Americans who on this land have had to get white people to be able to give us a space at the table. It may not be a full space, but white people have had a vested interest in making sure that we do not get to the table, that we were beneath their feet. And we, through the act of protest and other forms, have been able to get a place at the table. And I think that we can learn different things from each other. And I know that there was, the Lekki toll bridge incident that happened last year, where where Nigerians took part in the uprisings that were taking place during the pandemic, and then what happened at the Lekki Bridge, and how they say that people that the police opened fired on the people who were standing there just protesting. And I think that it's going to take some coming together of all of us.
It will, but ultimately we have to see that, it takes working from the ground up and working from the sorry to use computer terms, but to work from the motherboard. You can't, I think, all of these political positions, on both ends, you said African Americans have had to work and get a seat at the table and all that stuff. And it's the same thing in Africa. Just Africa, they're just not on camera. They basically stand on the sidelines. They're there. They're just not on camera. It's the same game, I promise you. It's the same way they tried to highlight Shell's oil corruption for all these years. And basically, every time they tried to do it, they couldn't get anywhere close to even the oil rigs. Shell has had a way to just keep things under wraps, and nobody can expose their corruption as far as oil and gas in the Niger Delta region. So it's all these things happen in the Congo region, and we all know about the use of orphans and these kids to to mine raw materials and natural resources. We know about all this stuff. Reporters tend to go in there and try to get the story out, but they always die. They always get assassinated by mercenaries. The stories are there. Just it's not sensational enough. Nobody cares. But the point is, if you the bigger pictures and the small pictures, it's in the gears and the and the little. It's not in the it's not.
But my thing is, you're saying that it's hopeless, but then you're also saying that it's not hopeless at the same time.
No. I don't think it's hopeless, but I think the hope cannot be verbalized. If you understand what I'm saying, I think it has to be like a siege. You cannot.
Let's get back to the video for those who.
Okay, let's get back to the video, because I feel like a lot of people here are angry that I'm making sense and they want me to die under this video. So yes, let's let you guys.
No. I just want, for the people who are just coming in, because we've been broadcasting for over an hour. So for the people who are just coming in, I want to get to the video, and then what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll replay the video, and then we'll just play it through.
Yeah.
And then we'll get back to the political part. And so this right here is Ike's video on the left-hand side. Let's just jump into it.
So I got that fofo. You already see me. You see me. Me take a. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, wow. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. All right. Smash it up. Throw it in there. So I could dip in, right? Like that.
All right, what's up, y'all?
Okay,
So I
so
went to this
what was
African
it
restaurant.
that you felt was offensive about her not liking it?
It wasn't so much her or him. I just used the shortest videos I could find that kind of encompassed the exact emotion that I was trying to convey. It was more so there were many videos, but all the other videos spilled over into like a minute or spilled over into 2 minutes. And at the time, reels won't take only 30 seconds to 60 seconds. So
Okay.
I was trying to shrink the entire point.
Yeah,
So that
so
was the only reason why
but
I
there
chose
there
those videos.
are there are channels where people taste foods and they don't like all of the foods that they taste. I'm trying to
No,
figure out what was
I completely
upsetting
understand
about
that.
them just not liking it. Do you think that they really
Making it
liked it?
Tanya, making it a trend, making it a trend. That was the offensive part. There's nothing wrong with trying the food. It's just making it a trend. If I went and I tried Chinese food, this is Chinese food. I went, and then and I passed to my friend, and I went the next day, passed to another friend, and we're all just spitting out Chinese food and sharing, and it just becomes cool to do that. Like,
Okay. On the one hand, there. So listen, you it became a trend. Why do you think it became a trend?
I think it became a trend because, like anything on the internet, people don't think. Once they felt like these people didn't have a voice or didn't have a way to defend themselves. Because most of the people that were selling to these kids, especially when you watch the earlier videos, it was a lot of these uh, African mothers in the back end or with small restaurants or small establishments that would sell the fufu to these kids. Because they were like, "Oh, I searched for fufu in my area and I found some
Yeah.
woman in the house and I went to go pick it up." So it was more so you thought that these people, were
Okay.
unspoken for. You thought you could make funny trends out of people that, just didn't have a chance at defending themselves. That's what it was
But do
giving.
you think the people really liked it and that they were just exaggerating that they didn't?
Okay, me personally, my grandmother used to think I was addicted to fufu, so I don't think, and what we called it in the Igbo in the East was apple, and there used to be a nickname that they passed on for people who were addicted to apple ma. Anyways, I personally, from the age of 4, okay, was really like I was into it. Okay, I
Right,
loved
but
it.
do
I
you
loved the
think that they
sour.
really liked it and they just
I think if they knew how to eat it, yes, they liked it. If they don't know how to eat it, then it's disgusting. If you eat fufu by itself, it's gross.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
I'll
We'll
give you that.
continue. We'll continue. We'll continue.
Restaurant, and I'm about to try this stuff. It's called Fufu. It's called Fufu. It look like this. A little ball. It kind of like Play-Doh a little bit. It's kind of mushy and gooey, and it got like a weird little smell to it. But this is it's called light soup. I think it's oxtail and something. But I'm gonna go ahead and give them a little try. So I
He
guess
looks
all you
like
gotta
he's
do is
excited to
get
try
your
it.
hands,
I mean, that's
pull it
part
up
of
like
the
this, like
process.
so,
That
I
was excited
guess.
before you get this.
And then you just dip it inside the fufu like this. The fuck? Oh no.
I'm not gonna lie, it was funny, but
Honestly, this is supposed to be content, but I'm getting carried away because I'm actually hungry. But here I am, enjoying the fact that my ancestors were able to run fast enough to escape slavery. Too much? Okay. All right. Let's all calm down. Don't act like you're new here. And if you're new here, this is what we do here. To be clear. Oh, let me start. But I don't understand. This is why when I hear the argument of the Ados, if you don't know what the Ados is, that's the American descendants of slavery or whatever they call themselves. Not to be dismissive, but these people have said time and time again that Africans are unsuccessful. Africans have failed. They want to come back and take over, and they have the right idea. And sometimes I see videos like these making fun of your own people. People will scream unity, unity, unity. You take this stuff to the internet. In your right mind, you use your culture for content to embarrass yourself. And people were wondering, oh, Ike, what do you mean? What's wrong with a little joke and jest? Let me show you what's wrong with a little joke and jest. The next video, you will see, ask me who granted these people permission. I'm not going to say any, ask me, what do you think made these people feel comfortable enough to insult this group of black people? Watch this.
Hey y'all, guess what we're getting? Okay, so this restaurant is out of someone's house, so we're literally in some random neighborhood. So we've seen this shit all over TikTok. And
it was on my For You page 4 times in the last 20 minutes, and we're like, we gotta fucking try.
I am African.
So the only African restaurant I could find was out of someone's house. So we're here at the Fufu house.
I am African.
Alright guys, we see
Oh my god.
I am African.
Dude, I didn't actually think we were gonna get anything. I thought they were about to scam us. Okay, y'all, we got the fufu, and we got the okra soup,
And a vegetable.
Okay, let's go.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Update.
It was terrible.
People want to insult. At least you should have picked a meal that people don't like. Or something that is not popular in Nigeria. But you want to pick fufu.
Hey, are we gonna watch me eat this whole meal? Because I really wasn't enjoying the meal.
A breakfast of champions. Something that raised gladiators. Eh? Oh my God. You don't know the culture you are dealing with. You are just upping our economy. This thing you have done, no shaking. We are not. What are you doing? Not doing yourself. We like fufu, we don't like fufu. Nothing will ever stop.
What, man?
Nothing will ever stop me. My people from enjoying this thing. But
Apparently, you were hungry that day.
I actually was.
Apparently, because you were smacking and going off. Is there any more to the video that needs to be seen, or is there anything
Just the
else?
end, the closing part, the last part.
Okay.
It was the last part.
How far into the end?
I don't know. I don't even remember.
Deployment. Some people left, some didn't. Not trying to be sensitive, but just saying. Insulting fufu does not make it any less tasty. All these people, I promise you, as soon as the camera cuts, they start to lick their fingers and finish the meal. I promise you that. Talking nonsense.
Okay, so that's the full video. Well, that's most of the video right there.
Yeah, that's most of it.
All right, so talk to me.
So
What was it that was upsetting to you? Because they said they didn't like it, but it really only inspires more. Because like right now, I want to try fufu.
I think, but yes, what I think it was fascinating is the lack of like. It really is interesting how people are like. They said they don't like it. They don't like it. That's it. What's the problem? What's the problem? If they don't like it, if I don't like that food, does that mean I gotta get mad? What's the problem? And I'm like, wow. We cannot be this dense that we can't tell that they made a trend out of hating a culture's food. Like
A culture?
that was the issue. It was not them trying it. Why is everyone acting slow? Come on.
You feel that I'm acting slow.
They're acting slow. They're acting very slow.
I'm asking you whether or not you feel that I am acting slow.
No, no, Tonya, you're very fast.
Because I'm trying.
Is that a threat?
Because I'm one of those people who I'm asking you questions.
No,
And
well,
I'm
you didn't
trying
say
to
that.
figure-
You
I'm trying
didn't
to
word it.
figure out. I'm trying to figure out
didn't-
what is it that is upsetting to you. Please express. Use your words to express what was upsetting to you, please.
I've expressed it. I said the fact that they took their dislike for a meal and turned it into a trend that should be dramatized to everyone else. You know?
Okay. So you feel that they were over dramatizing.
Yeah.
You think they were over dramatizing it. You don't feel that because the people, the the white people who had tried it, or the mixed card, they came back and said that they felt it was terrible. I didn't see them trying it and spitting out and all of that other, and convulsing or anything like that. I just saw them say that they thought it was.
There was more of it. If anything, again, this trend was one of those trends where you just stop it in its tracks and it didn't blossom, but it was getting there. It was going there. I saw enough videos to know it was going there. I was going to ignore it, but it's not, I was like, it's not a big deal to me. Whether you like it or not, I'm still going to eat it. That's crazy. But.
Right. So the thing that is a little confusing to me is, okay, so there were some people who didn't like it, and then the trend started to pick up, right?
Yeah.
So you feel that the people were then now purposefully going out to get it because they were like, oh, let me just show how bad I think this is. So you don't think that they had sincerely wanted to go and enjoy it?
Yeah, no, it got to that point where it became weird. It was like people were now trying to do a thing that everybody was doing. It's like the ice bucket challenge. It's like, it looks dumb, but like,
Okay.
So it's like it got to the. I was at what's it called, Green Place in Brooklyn. I was ordering my fufu, and this white couple came in, and the guy's like, we wanna, can we please get the fufu in the agunsi? And I was like, oh, well, excuse me. And to be fair, between you and I, a lot of the African restaurants were, they had to come up because most people were trying actually pounded yam and not fufu, but they were saying it was fufu and they were selling it.
So what's the difference between pounded yam and fufu then?
Pounded yam is a lot more, it's a lot more comfortable. It's a lot more like, on introduction, it's a lot more palatable because it tastes more like cassava, like it doesn't have a very intense sour tang to it.
So fufu has a sour tang?
Fufu has a sour tang, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, fufu has a sour tang and it's stronger.
Well. So look, you're in New York, right?
Yes, I am, ma'am.
I would like to try fufu.
Okay. Well, let's do it then. Let's make it a mission.
Do you know a place that serves it the way it should be served?
Oh, I know many places that serve it the way it should be served.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'd like to try it.
Okay then.
But I don't eat meat though.
That's something we're gonna have to sort out with the chef.
What do you mean?
Because we do everything involves meat in Africa. It's really hard. It's a very pro meat culture.
So there are no soups that don't have meat in it. No animals.
That's tough. Unless ewedu.
Who?
Ewedu, but ewedu is rare. Ewedu is like a spinach. You eat ewedu with efo, or you eat it with like just red stew.
Well, it's fall. Fall is coming upon us. So listen, so you said we'll make it a mission and we'll film it.
We'll make it a mission, 100%, and we'll film it. And you can give your honest opinion, despite what the diaspora might think.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So let's do that then. When do you want to do it?
As soon as next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you said you have a place in mind, and you could talk to the chef about making the.
100%. We're gonna have to. Hopefully, they don't poison you with meat, but yeah, I could try to ask on your behalf.
Try to ask?
Yeah.
How is it gonna work? Okay.
No,
Somebody is saying
it can work.
eggplant soup. Somebody said egusi.
Eggplant soup. They're just being funny. Okay, all right. Y'all.
What?
People are just.
What's the joke? They said egusi soup. What's the matter? What about eggplant? Eggplant soup has meat in it?
Eggplant soup is just stupid.
Is it?
There's no such thing as eggplant soup, first of all.
There is. Okay.
There's okra. There's okra, but okra has meat in it though. Like even if they take the meat out, unless you don't care, but everything around the soup is made with meat. So
really, so there's no Nigerian soup that just doesn't have meat in it.
Not that I could think of. Besides when I mentioned
lentil soup.
We don't have lentil.
Oh.
Somebody said e-bussy. Y'all will kill me. Egusi, not e-bussy.
Okay.
Yo, y'all are wild.
All right. So you were saying that it's going to be impossible for Black Americans and Black Africans to come together.
No, I say it's going to be impossible. I said it's possible, but it has to be like a siege. It has to be done in private and quietly. You can't. I know Black people in general, I mean like Africans and African Americans, we love to announce shit. We love to make it a grand gesture and like a big, like, oh, it's a coming back. Diaspora is uniting. The minute you do that, right? White people are not dumb. The minute you do that, they're in there. They are in there as swiftly. The minute you announce your meeting, they're in there. I just want to help. I just want to be a part of the, whatever. It has to be something that is done covertly. I see it happening in very subtle ways. It is happening, regardless of people that see it or don't see it. It's happening in very contained, or should I say isolated events. I know a lot of African Americans that are doing business with a lot of Africans right now. And they're doing a lot of joint ventures, companies, shell companies, what have you, a lot of investments. So it is happening. It is happening. It's just not loudly proclaimed. And I love it that way. Like, we don't need to do it for this. You don't need to do it on the timeline to let people know, oh, yeah, we're uniting. No, it doesn't have to be that. Because that's how the enemy gets in. All right? I hate to even use those terms. It sounds so techy. But the unity is happening. Just know that, and we are working this capitalism shit out. And that's the first step. Once we work that out, then it's time to build New Wakanda, or whatever we want to call the next empire that we build, besides Akon City.
I see. That sounds good. So in terms of unity, do you think the statement about ancestors running fast enough to escape slavery, do you think that statement encourages unity?
The statement does not encourage unity, but it agitates subject matters that should be discussed or weren't being discussed. And again, I apologize if anybody was hurt by that statement or joke or whatever. I didn't mean it to be hurtful. But I'm glad that we're here in the conversation. Yeah. Ultimately,
so let me just address that. Do you think that the video, you think that your video gained the popularity that it gained because of that statement?
Yes, 100%. Yes.
All right. So you feel that the only reason why people shared the video, et cetera, was because of that. And then also, if we're talking about, because see, the thing is, I've had conversations with and in collaboration with Nigerian platforms before that had nothing to do with controversy, that had nothing to do with it, just, just good vibes, just talking and just, there's so many other things that we could talk about. What's that face for?
No, what face?
It looked like you were thinking into the ether or something.
No, I'm thinking, I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm listening to you, tired.
Okay. Yeah, so my whole thing is, if we have the idea that we want to have, unity amongst us, right?
Yeah.
We let our actions speak louder than our words. So what actions are you partaking in that counteract a statement like that is highly, just unnecessarily offensive to people who haven't done anything to offend you?
My actions, I feel like, just like I heard this statement the other day, about feminism, about how sometimes the need to constantly highlight the gender roles or gender, like titles undermines the whole concept of gender equality, right? And I think that goes the same for unity. it undermines the legitimacy of the unity. If you're going to constantly say, I'm uniting, it just sounds like a white politician. I'm uniting with my African Americans to build this or to work on this. Every day, I think I definitely, and now I'm about to say that sentence, it just sounds, but I'm fourth wall enough to acknowledge the fact that this is a real thing. But like, I work side by side. I align I'm like African. It's just, I said it before, like African American culture is everything to me. I have to argue with people. I have to argue with African Americans that I know in real life that tell me that African Americans don't have a culture. I have to argue with them that they have a culture, and there is in fact a culture. And people say no, but their culture is derived from other things. And I'm like, that does not denote the fact that it is a culture. I have to make, so I'm living, rather than coming online and doing a performative stance as to how much I want unity or how much I want us to be together. I'm really living it. I really do want us. I'm constantly trying to find or seeing the similarities. I see a cookout. I know that a cookout looks like an ibanku. And if you don't know what ibanku is like, it's basically like a cookout, but for like a specific celebration. But it's like, all these occasions look the same. You know, the uncles on the grill are the same uncles on the grill back home too. It's just except maybe they're killing the goat live in front of the kids.
Question for you though.
Yeah.
What did the African American people who are close to you say about that type of sentiment? You know, that you feel in your heart that your ancestors were the ones who were able to run fast enough to escape slavery.
Well, they know I didn't feel it, and they know it was a joke. And most of them are comedians, to be fair. So that was the problem. I ran it through them. That's the only problem. And they were like, I mean, it's gonna set off some bombs, but go ahead.
So you don't have any African American people close to you that are not comedians?
Do I? I do. Yeah, I do. I do have African Americans close to me that are not comedians. And they knew that it was gonna set off some bombs too, but they were like, hey, this is what you do.
Yeah,
I don't do this.
Yeah. I find that hard to believe, honestly.
It's true.
I find it hard to believe that, first of all, you had a hard time identifying whether or not you had African Americans close to you that weren't comedians. It took you a moment, and then you came back with your statement. But it almost sounds like, you know, the old trite, some of my best friends are Black kind of thing. And
that's my point.
Right. No.
I predicted this part of the conversation.
Right. No. What I'm saying is that your statement, the one that you made, it seemed akin to when Kramer had his outburst using the N-word and hang him up by the toe and all this and the other. And these things slipped out because deep in his heart, that's how he truly felt. You know, he felt that in his being. That's why he said it, because it slipped out.
Kramer's joke slipped out. Mine wasn't a slip. It was premeditated murder. That was a whole. It was basically calculated chaos for the most part.
So you set out to be offensive to people who did not offend you because a few people with small TikTok pages, you felt offended by their behavior.
I told you, they weren't small though. There were millions of views, Tonya. This was millions. It wasn't small.
So you're saying that there were people who were influencers. Who were those people? Who had seen any of these people before the Fufu? That was probably their only video that got views. This is what I'm saying. They don't have these people. These people didn't seem like they had platforms where they were influencers. Having a video go viral is a lot different than having a platform that is built upon, you know, your brand. Like, these people don't have brands and brand managers and stuff like that. These are people who have a phone and an opinion and bought some fufu and decided to act a fool on the internet.
Yes, but that's exactly that's the general makeup of a viral topic or a viral trend. It's people who are known, people who have no following.
Right. My only question, and I just need to understand why the impulse was to insult an entire group of people who did nothing to you because of, let's say there was even 1,000 people. How many people do you think participated in that trend? How many people?
Maybe 1,000, but it was early in the trend.
Okay. So 1,000 people did something that you felt, or look, and I'm sure you didn't watch 1,000 videos, but we'll overestimate it at
No,
1,000,
no, I'm not gonna watch
right?
a
So,
thousand
so it's
videos.
right, right, right.
I just,
So 1,000 people did something that you consider to be offensive, and you
yeah,
lash out a joke of what you consider a violence. You reach for violence for entire
yeah,
groups of people who haven't done anything to you.
yeah.
I'm trying to make that part make sense.
You're trying to make the part of me being a catalyst make sense.
No, the part of you feeling that it was appropriate to just go and insult people who, because first of all, anybody who has passed through the transatlantic trafficking trade, right? They've
Yes,
been victimized in some sort of way, right?
yes,
They've been victimized on Nigerian soil when their countrymen sold them to white people. They were victimized on this land by white people, and the victimization still goes on today, because anybody who goes out there and is attempting to belittle other people, there's something wrong with that person. They have some issues. So they were
yeah,
victimized on the motherland, victimized on this land, and continue to be victimized by undereducation and anti-education, right? And then
yeah.
so the response to a people that have been victimized for hundreds of years, the response to that and their ignorance is to then insult an entire group of people who have done you nothing, who are also a part of that trafficking, that trafficking chain. That's the part that I just don't understand. So if your
So
ancestors were the ones who were able to run fast enough, that means that they were able to grow up in their land.
first off, Africa is not a monolith, right? The same story does not go for everyone. It doesn't work that way. There are many parts of Africa where people didn't get shipped off for slavery and stuff like that. But that's a story for another day. The point is, it was not to attack the general populace of these people. It was never to hurt them. It was just a joke. The same way I believe, again, the jokes that I use as examples that I heard from African American comedians about Africans, I don't think they were trying to hurt us. I think they were just jokes. They were legitimately just jokes.
The jokes
Do you know
were,
what I mean?
the jokes that people made in the 80s were rooted in ignorance. Like you said, it created a caricature like Michael Blackson. And the
So
jokes were wrong then. They were wrong. They were wrong. The jokes were wrong. Even
I
Jay-Z
know,
had some song where he talked about, uh
yeah, why you treat me like animal?
right, exactly. And it's
He
like,
got he got
so
that he got that from Raw.
right,
So if
so what
Jay
I'm
Z can
so
be
right, so
inspired, who? But Tanya, if
it
Jay Z can be
inspired,
inspired by,
listen, Jay-Z, a lot of his music in the past has been problematic. This is what I'm
yes,
saying. The basis started in problem. It was problematic to begin with. And it's
yeah.
like, at what point do we say, okay, let's stop this vicious cycle? At what point do we say enough is enough? At what point do we say, I will not participate in that? Because listen, I cannot be responsible for anybody else's actions. I can't be responsible for what somebody did in the 80s. I can't be responsible
Yeah.
for anybody else's actions, but I can be responsible for mine. And you are the one who opened up your mouth to make a statement like that. You have to deal with whatever is going on inside of you that made you feel that the statement was okay to quote unquote joke about, because some other people in the 80s made some vicious,
Well,
disgusting,
the reason why
xenophobic quote unquote jokes.
the reason why there's nothing going on inside of me is, like I said, I remember when we first started this, I said I had actually found out that an ancestor of mine uh, had in fact been caught and sold into slavery. And I know this for a fact. And he had to fight and
The
pay his way
broadcast is
back.
going to end, but you and I are going to need to talk behind the scenes, because I have to be quite honest with you. You and I had good rapport when we were building up for the show, but the fact that these ideas and vitriol that you have towards African Americans may live inside of you somewhere, I don't know how
No, there
comfortable
is
I
no vitriol.
feel
What do you
with meeting
mean?
up with you. Honestly, oh, the thing cut. The thing cut. The thing cut. The thing cut. The cut. man, that was a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. Some apples had come in. Let me go ahead and read these apples now here on the air. I'm sorry, you all, that I got to the apples so late. I'm gonna do better. Hey, I'll do better next time. All right. Linda sent $10 and said, Godspeed. Okay. Rachel sends $10 and says, for support. Thank you. And Joy sends some Bitcoin and says, can we as Black people focus on being courteous to other Black people around the world? Yes. Yes, I believe that we can. I believe that we should. I believe that as long as there are people who are going around creating these attacks, that the only thing that you get is more attacks. You know what I mean? The only thing you get is that vicious cycle continuing. But nonetheless, listen, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. Thank you to EK for coming on. Ike Slimster, his link is in the description of this video. Thank you, all of you who came out. You know, the thing about it, I see somebody saying, girl, it was a joke. You know, we don't get to determine how somebody that we make a quote unquote joke about is offended by that quote unquote joke. And then this is the thing, right? And then this is the thing. And this is part of why I ended why my final statement to him was, I don't know how comfortable I feel going out with him, right? You entitled to feel however the fuck you want to feel. Feel how you want to feel. You could make jokes about transgender people and be like, oh, it's a joke. You could make jokes about Black people. You can make jokes about Black Americans. You can make jokes about Asian Americans and all this, that, and the other. Feel however the fuck you feel, so you choose to feel. But I don't have to be around you. I don't have to grant you the privilege of my presence. You could sit there unrepentant and be like, well, B, it was a joke. Get over it. Okay, stay with yourself. Stay with yourself. I don't have to be near you, because as long as you harbor those type of feelings on the inside, what do we have to talk about, really? Feel how you choose to feel. If I'm telling you, and this is the self-love lesson, this goes for anybody out there, because there are a lot of you who are in dysfunctional relationships where a person is telling you how the hell you should feel. You're in a dysfunctional relationship with a person who doesn't care whether or not they continue to trample on your feelings, on your psyche, on your however, right? Everybody's feeling is valid. If you express to somebody who says that they care about you and wants to be in your life, if you express to them that something that they said or did or continue to do, that you consider that to be hurtful, right? You can have a conversation with them. They may not have meant it that way. They can continue to want to do it, but it's really up to you to decide whether or not you're going to continue to stay in those interactions. You don't have to stay in those interactions. You don't get to have a transgender friend while you're also making transgender jokes. You don't get to have people show up and be in relationship with you while you are continuing to offend them. You don't get that. And it's like, okay, all right. And Fruits is saying, that's life. Everyone is offended. Well, this is what I'm saying. If you don't give a fuck about how the other person feels, if you don't care about them staying in your life, do whatever it is that you want to do. I'm one of those Black women, right? I don't let my friends call me a bitch or whore or slut, all that stuff. They don't call me that behind the scenes. I have some, like, whenever you meet certain types of Black women, they come in your life and they like, bitch, you stupid, right? I mean, I tried to watch the beginning of, what was it, Insecure? And the way they were calling each other bees and all of that, it didn't resonate with me. I'm one of those type of Black women behind the scenes that you try to call me a whore and all that other stuff, bitch. That's not me. That's not me. My mother is not a dog. She didn't push a female dog out of her. I don't resonate with it. I was not called a bitch growing up. There's nothing inside of me that resonates with it. When these women come into my life and they start talking this way, right? and I tell them how I feel about it, they don't continue to refer to me. However, they're like, oh, I don't mean it that way. I mean it out of love. I mean that you a bad bitch. I mean it out of love. You can mean it however it is that you choose to mean it. It doesn't resonate with me. And if you want to stay in my life and have interactions with me, you won't refer to me that way. Because you can go and refer to somebody else that way in your interactions. You could just be however you want over there. You won't be here with me like that. Because there's a certain level there's a certain level of, if I am telling you that this is troubling me, that I don't resonate with it. So listen, if there are people who are telling you, listen, this doesn't resonate with me, if you care about that person or those people, you will make an adjustment. If you don't care, continue to do whatever it is that you choose to do. If you don't care, continue to do whatever it is that you choose to do. Go do it. Go do it. Go do it. Do it however you choose to do it. It's as simple as that. But you won't be doing it over here in my presence. You do it wherever it is that you feel that that's accepted. It's like there are far too many of us that do not take to constructive criticism. We don't want to improve. We don't want to change. We're like, oh, just accept me however it is that I am. But I have found that constructive criticism from cogent, trusted sources can really help you become a better person. It can really help you become a better person. So on that note, listen, I will see you all in the next video. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out and participating in today's discussion. Thank you to Ike Slimster or Ike Slimster, however he'd like to have it pronounced. His link is in the description of the video, both his YouTube link and his Facebook link. So you can go ahead and follow him and continue the conversation right inside of the comments. I'm gonna be going through and sending, I didn't put people in the block party in this conversation, so I allowed you all to be able to speak, because at the end of the day, just like I told Ike, you are responsible for the energy that is created from your own words and your behavior. You're responsible for that energy. Nobody else. And if that's how you choose, look, whatever it is that you put out there just returns back to you. So go ahead. I will see you all in the next video. All of my knockouts, this is what I want you to do. I want you to type SLL. Let me get the music out onto the air. I want you to type SLL and tell me what the self-love lesson is, right? Let me see. Go ahead, type SLL for self-love lesson. Let me see what you felt the self-love lesson is from this video. The self-love lesson to me is to really know your worth, stand your ground, and if there is a person or persons who are speaking to you in a way that doesn't resonate with you, that you leave them where you meet them. Dan says the self-love lesson is treat people how you want to be treated, I believe. And then the other one says watch your words. Yeah, you know what? There was an issue with there was a log jam with the text notification. I sent it out several times. All right. SOL, respect everyone. L just got the text, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There was a log jam. But Jay says SOL is shut your mouth. Hey. Don't be a snowflake. Stop reacting to negative content. You know what? There's a lot of things that people want me to react to on my page that I don't react to. I don't react to it because I don't want to give shine to that. So I don't react. All right. So let's go. Type the SLL, self-love lesson. Self-love lesson is never follow a person when they don't like a particular food and try the food for yourself. And you know what? So this is the thing. Soul food. So this is what I'm saying. There has to be some sort of self-love divot that exists on the inside. If there were people who were trying macaroni and cheese and they're spitting the macaroni and cheese out, talking about how nasty the macaroni and cheese is, What am I going to attack this person for not liking something that is delicious? This is what I'm saying. There's something else going on there. All right. So let's see. Type SLL. It's okay to not like something. Be respectful about it. Okay, let's see. Love yourself and don't let anyone disrespect you or your people. Everything isn't a joke. No, so this is the thing. This is the thing. And I'm glad you brought that up. 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 I'm glad you brought that up because when we say don't let people disrespect you, I'm going to tell you this right here. I don't tell people to respect me. I don't try to make people respect me. Either you respect me or you're gone. It's as simple as that. When you're like, don't let people disrespect you, people could disrespect it. There's so many things that are considered disrespectful. It's up to you to decide whether or not you are going to stay there. People are going to be disrespectful in different ways. Are you going to stay around for it? Are you going to sit there and be in their face, skinning and a grinning? You know what I'm saying? Listen. All right. So let's go. All right. So listen, because I'm saying if somebody was eating collard greens and spitting out collard greens, I mean, collard greens was kind of iffy, depending on how it's made. You know what I'm saying? Candied yam, any type of soul food that is intrinsic to your culture. And me, I'm Caribbean-American. So there's so many rice and peas. If somebody was eating some rice and peas and spit it out and was like, oh, there's beans in this rice. Okay, so you don't like rice and peas and you're spitting it out? You got the issue. All right, SLL, I say treat me how I want to be treated. Okay. All right. And Zahubu is saying, I muted her, but I'm here for Ike's tribe. I mean, see, there we go with tribalism again. And this is part of the reason that many parts of Africa are the way that they are, because of tribalism. You're talking about different tribes and that you think it's okay to disrespect, to belittle, to attempt to demean, but that's just the energy that surrounds you. That's the energy that you're creating and fostering out there. That's you. SLL, don't smile through the hurt when someone insults you to your face. Walk away. I feel you on that. 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 So listen, the whole broadcast was missed by the text notification squad. I'm sorry, there was a mix-up. So SLL, type out the last. I'm gonna give this another 2 minutes for the SLL. I'm beautiful. Type SLL so you can put in your self-love lessons. All right. And Kara says you're being really obtuse, ma'am. You're calling me names. I want you to point to any name that I've called anybody on this broadcast. But you see, it's like people don't understand that the only thing that's missing from any of your interactions is what you're not bringing. So if you have all of these interactions that are filled with strife and vitriol and all of this, you have to look and see how it is that you're showing up. You know what I mean? You have to look and see how you're showing up. You're showing up that way. That's how you're behaving. And that's the energy that surrounds you. All right, so let's see. SLL, let me see. We got 1 more minute after this, and then we're going to get out of here. Facebook says, our cultures and manners are different. Samuel says, much love and respect to you, Tonya. Thank you. Valerie says, me Haitian unbothered by you fools. SLL, I think it's better to have an eclectic mindset. A joke is only a joke when the receiver finds it funny. I hear you on that. I hear you on that. All right. I'm American Haitian. I've done heard of a lot of ignorant things. Caribbeans have good food. Listen, I love the show. There's no comedy in degenerate comedians. Correct ignorance and disrespect when it's first presented to you. I'm not calling you names. I'm saying you're purposely ignoring parts of the conversation. You're calling me obtuse. That's a name. It's like if you have a problem with the argument, attack the argument.
Did I call anybody slow? Did I call anybody ignorant? Did I call anybody obtuse or dumb? This is a conversation, and it's like, if you want to show up for the conversation, show up for the conversation. If you want to call people names, that's the energy that you're creating. And I wonder, because listen, I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me very good. How you do anything is how you do everything. You think that your behavior here is relegated only to here? This is the way that you behave offline. And I know that your relationships are filled with strife or people who only want to blow smoke up your ass. Because looking, in conversations that are headed, that have the intention of having understanding, that are fostered by the feeling of love from the inside. Because it's very easy. Listen, I know every curse word in the book. I do. And I'm Caribbean American, so I know a few more about different body parts that I could say. However, when the intention of the conversation is to foster understanding and it comes from a space of love, there's no room for calling people names. There's no room for attacking a person's intelligence. There's no room for that. There's only room for, look, if you don't resonate with a person, leave. The moment that you decide to stay there calling people names, you then have created the energy around you. Some people call it karma or whatever. They say how other people treat you is their karma, how you respond is yours. I know how I've shown up for this conversation, and I know that I came into this conversation earnestly. And I know that I came into this conversation to really gain a sense of understanding. I didn't call anybody names in this conversation, even though I can. I've seen some of the insults coming across the screen. I didn't fight those insults with insults. The only thing that I can do is feel sorry for you, have pity, that you feel that it's appropriate, that you're creating that energy around yourself. That's on you. That's on you. Listen, like I said, how you do anything is how you do everything, and that's how you're choosing to show up. That's you. That's you. That's you. I know how it looks over here. I know how it looks. So listen, I will see you all in the next video. I'm pulling out of here now. I think that we had an amazing, listen. Hey, I thought we had an amazing conversation. Hey, listen, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. Thanks to Ike Slimster and all of his followers that came out here and participated in this conversation. Hey, listen. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Hey, listen. You know, the crazy part about it is that we have more in common. We have more in common than we have apart. We have more in common than we have apart. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to sit here in little squabbles? Or are we going to continue to move forward, onward and upward? Are we going to do that? Listen, I will see you all in the next video. Tonya Tko, and I am out. Thank you all so very, very much. I will see you all. Hey, Tam Tam. Hey, everybody. I'm sorry to you all who got the text notification late. I'm going to talk to the company after we get off of here. But I will see you all in the next video. Come on. You can bust a wine with me. Hey, I'll turn up the music and I'll see you all in the next video. And I'm just going to come back to just end the broadcast. I got to walk out my wine a little bit. I got to walk out my wine. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.